Hi, I'm Caroline, Director of Operations.
Hi, I'm Gabby. I'm the Director of Customer Service.
And we wanted to thank you for this opportunity to talk about the new coat check service we're going to offer. We know this has been a long time coming and we really needed something like this for a long time. So we're honored that you thought of us to talk to you about it with you. We know you had some questions at first and we wanted to answer those right now before we get started on our key points so that it's easier for us to follow along with each other and so that we're all on the same page. So the first thing you asked is where it was going to be located. We decided that we would put it right by the check-in when you first come in. That way it's easily accessible and everyone sees it when they first come in. So it makes it really noticeable, and we're going to hang a bunch of signs over there too so that everyone can see what's going on. Also, it makes it easier because you don't have to carry your coat through the airport and through TSA. You can just get rid of it right when you come in, and it makes your traveling day a lot easier without having to carry it with you. Excuse me.
Honestly, just keep going. We can just admit it.
No, I choked on my own spit. Okay. This is the one, I feel it. Hi, I'm Caroline, Director of Operations.
Hi, Gabby. I'm Director of Customer Service.
And we wanted to thank you for having us in today to talk about our new coat check service. We know this has been a long time coming and our company has really needed something like this for a long time. So we're honored that you thought of us to talk about it with you. We know you had some questions, so we were going to answer those up front so it's easier for you to follow along as we go through our key points and so that we're both on the same page. First question you had was where it was going to be located. So we decided that we should put it right next to the check-in, right when customers come in. That way it's one of the first things they see, they know it's accessible, and they know it's right there for them if they need it. It also makes it easier because they won't have to carry their coat through the entire airport. They'll be able to check it in, get rid of it, take it off their hands right away, and then continue on with their travel day without all their heavy gear. The next thing you asked, which was a very important question, is how much will it cost? So we decided that we were going to make it $10 per coat, or for the first coat, and then, we were going to make it $5 for each additional coat, and that'll be a flat fee. It won't cost $5 or $10 per day. It'll only be that when you first check it in, and then the next days will be considered free. We also will have a check-in service for things that aren't coats, but are still winter gear, like hats, gloves, scarves, and those will be $2 each.
So the way that this will help our company is it'll reduce bulk and make the customers happy. We've had several complaints on our surveys and just little tips, I guess, to tweak something with how to make it less bulky, considering that we live in such a cold area where we have winter half of the year. It's very difficult to be able to fit suitcases and coats and bags and people all in the small little area of an airplane. So this will also act as helping with liabilities, considering that it'll make it easier for people to safely put their luggage away, be able to have space so there won't be any issues with people getting claustrophobic or anything like that. The number of staff that we will have for this is, we decided that we'll have one person at each checkout, so we'll start out with around 7 employees, considering that we don't really know how well it's going to go or how it's going to be perceived by the customers. We created a map sketch of where we're going to have them. At every place that you can check in your suitcase, you're going to be able to check in your coat as well, and there will be signs all over the place, as well as we're going to create a new commercial that will add this into it. Now we'd like to move into the key points that we have. So the first thing is how we demonstrate a customer service mindset. So the way that we demonstrate this is, obviously, the customer service mindset is that the customer's needs and wants come first. So being in the hospitality and tourism industry, it's really important that we keep this mindset at all times, considering the fact that our products are not tangible, they're services. So our product is the way that we interact with the customer, and their experience is what they will take away from it as their product. So we already have very great customer service at our company, and it's very much heavily implemented in our company, considering that we have excessive training on how to make this point go across. So it's just extremely important to the industry that we continue to put the customers first and that they know that we put them first.
So our next point to go over is to interpret business policies to customers. This is very important because in order to have effective service, you have to have the customer and the seller be on the same page. You do not want the customer thinking they're getting a different service than what they're actually being provided. So in order to do this, we're going to have every person at the check-in offer the coat service to the customer. They're going to go ahead and say, hey, would you like to check that coat? Or hey, would you like to check that hat? We have this new service that we offer, and you can check it for a flat fee, and then the rest of the days are free, and then you can pick it up when you land back after your trip. It's very important for this to occur because you do not want the customer thinking they're getting a different kind of service when they actually get something they weren't thinking of, because then that makes for an unhappy customer, and they're not going to want to use their airline again. They're going to go somewhere more bigger named brand like Delta or Southwest that already has a name brand implemented, and they already have an image in everyone's minds.
So next, I would like to explain the importance of meeting and or exceeding customers' expectations. So obviously, as I said earlier, and as we have heavily implemented in our company, the product that we provide is our customer service. So exceeding expectations is how we're able to create loyal customers and repeat customers. We also like to show our customers that we think of them and put them first by creating points. And if they go on a flight even once, or they even sign up for it, they are offered to join our points program. Being unable to meet customer needs can lead us to business failure. It could potentially put us out of business. So it's very important that we make it our first priority to meet their expectations, but the real goal is to exceed them and blow them away.
So the next thing I want to talk about is anticipating unspoken customer needs or questions. So every customer right off the bat, they immediately want to know the price of something. That determines everything. It makes or breaks whether or not the customer will buy it. So to keep customers from wondering or worrying or being stressed about what the prices are going to be, as soon as the front desk people offer it, they're going to immediately tell them the prices so that the customer and the seller are on the same page. As I mentioned before, it's very important for them to have an understanding and connection with each other. So to anticipate customer needs, we're going to go ahead and list everything off the bat, including our policies, that it's a flat fee, that we don't charge for additional days, that we do have late charges if you do not pick up your items right away. That way there's a mutual understanding between the seller and the customer, and there's not any wrong footing.
So going along with meeting and exceeding customer expectations, I'd like to go over the customer service as a component of selling relationships. Selling relationships are extremely important in the industry that we are in, considering that, again, our service is our product. So customer interactions will make or break our sales. They could potentially skyrocket if word of mouth goes around that our employees are extremely great, helpful, great, all the good things. So unhappy customers, or customers who are treated with an attitude, they feel like they're not important, they feel like they're being looked over, they feel like whoever is interacting with them just doesn't really want to be there, is going to cause customers to walk away, potentially even from that exact interaction. They could just cancel their flight on the spot. So we want to have happy customers, and we want to have repeat customers, and we want our brand to expand through word of mouth. So it's very important that we keep in mind that interacting with them and creating those relationships is what will keep us afloat.
So the next thing we wanted to do is explain the concept of price within our industry. And as Gabby has said, and I know she said it several times, but it's really important for emphasis that we all understand this. Our service is the only thing we offer. We do not have any tangible products for people. So pricing a service is a little bit tricky because there's not a monetary value to it. It's just how we value how much the price of our service to customers. So our prices are based on, one, it needs to be high enough that we make a profit at our company, but it also needs to be low enough to attract customers, because as I said earlier, the price is the very first thing a customer sees, and normally they'll turn away if the price is not what they wanted right away without giving the company a chance. So our prices will have to be very tone specific to customers and very specific to how they feel, what their feedback is based on the economy, but mostly based on how customers feel. If our engagement is too low, we might want to lower our prices a little bit. If we're not breaking even, bring them up just a little bit. Our prices are going to constantly be fluctuating, and that's okay. They do not need to be fixed all the time. Prices in the travel and service industry change constantly, and that's okay.
Lastly, I'd like to identify the coat checking service and how that's going to become a competitive advantage for us. So secondary services will provide us many more advantages than disadvantages. Although it may be hiring more people, spending more money, it also will bring in more customers, considering that it's something that is seen as a bonus or a benefit that goes along with our company. Living in a cold area, this is very helpful, considering that for a majority of the year, from around October to March, we will be having this service, and that is when people will be wearing coats, gloves, hats, which we will additionally be checking in with a smaller price than the coats. They will be only $2, and they will only have a flat fee. So providing this service allows the customers to realize that we do think of them, we do put their needs first. If you have any more questions or concerns, we would love to go over anything.
There was one more thing I wanted to go through just before we ended. It was about the liability issues. And within airports, things are constantly moving around, constantly being shifted. So there's always a chance that coats and other items could be broken, threads pulled, stolen even. And we know that we want customers to understand that we always want to be transparent and honest with our customers. We never want to lie to them and say, yeah, this is completely safe. You always want to stay upfront. There is a small risk, but we will replace the item for free and give you a discount on your next flight should something happen to your items if they are lost, stolen, or harmed.
Yes, so if there are any more questions or concerns or anything that you would like us to go over or think about for future reference, please let us know. Thank you for giving us your time today. It was great to speak to you, and we can't wait to
meet up with you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
God.